it's not like soul crushing at the same time.
That's it, yeah. Because it is soul crushing. Like.
Oh man, yeah. And it's like you can find brilliant music in every genre, but like the stuff that I like,
around,
it's not stuff that people know, and it's like you got people that like.
Yeah.
We're live.
We're live?
Yeah.
Okay. So tonight we got Simon Defyre on, right?
How you doing, mate? How's it going, lads?
Yeah. And then Mitch is back on the cameras. He's fixed a whole bunch of stuff as well. Yeah.
Big up the tech man.
So we're up
Don't inflate my ego. It's not good.
So up episode 145?
145.
145. All right. To keep Saul happy, so I went to Manifest and Saul gave me this. So you can use this for your podcast. You use it like every podcast now. 3, 2, 1.
Action. Let's go.
Cheers, Saul. So, you're a DJ?
I am a DJ, yes.
Yeah, and you've been going for like 20 years, right?
Yeah, there's probably 20 years of
that's a long time.
fun times, mate. There's been a lot of history, a lot of epic moments, and
but that's like back in the record days and everything, right?
yeah,
like,
definitely, man.
Before like
Gramophones and those bikes with the big massive wheels, and one on the front, little one on the back,
Yeah, the classic bikes, right?
Yeah,
so,
man.
Like, how did you get into all of it? Like, most podcasts are the same. I always ask to get the ball rolling, but like, it's so cool being in the 90s and actually like getting into the music industry, right? Like,
yeah, definitely, man. Well, I mean, like I came up listening to like 90s hip hop, so like it.
Well, like Nas and Biggie.
Yeah, Wu-Tang Gangsta, Tribe Called Quest, like all the good stuff, the Snoop and Dre and that.
Yeah.
So like I think I might have had like a couple of cassettes to start it off, the old cassette Walkman and that. But then once CDs came, I had my CD Walkman, and I was just got a crazy CD collection. I was just buying hip hop stuff non-stop. So.
It's so
basically,
it's so unfortunate how like CDs are just they're just collectibles, I guess. Now
exactly, yeah. It's like they sit there, but like I love them all, like it's still pull them out here and there.
Yeah.
Like even some cars don't even have the CD players anymore.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Well, mine doesn't, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess that's where the addiction started. Was just like collecting music that I loved, and then once I got stuck onto records, then it was just all over. Like started off buying drum and bass, and then as I started to get hip hop sets playing out, there wasn't CDJs at that point, so I was buying the same stuff that I had on CDs on records again. So
okay. And it was quite pricey back then as well, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's like $20 a vinyl or something.
Yeah, $20 a piece. Yeah, 40 for albums here and there. Like
okay.
Yeah. No, there's definitely been some money spent. I mean, but I don't have any tattoos. I don't have anything else. All I've done is spent money on like records and studio equipment.
Nice. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. But it was an awesome era to grow up in. Like, I couldn't have it any other way. I mean, like, there's a whole part of life that a lot of people that I'm playing out with these days just never got to experience. So
that's it. Like actually having like the flip phones and like the old school Nokia bricks.
That's the one. Yeah. You can drop it from 3 stories up. You're all good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But then, so like with the records though, like did you get into DJing and playing records in the 90s, or like when did you...
I mean, so I would have, I think like I remember it like precisely. I just started like hip hop, like started getting subwoofers in cars. I was driving around. So we're going like 2000, 2001, 2-ish. And that's when I started to discover drum and bass. And my mate Kai, he took me to this house, bunch of random people. And like pre-party before going out to like Villa, Villa's still around now. It's called Heat, the traffic guys. And just like walked through this door, and then there was like decks in the kitchen. It's the first time I'd seen.
And were they just like Technics 1200s?
Yeah, Technics 1200s. There's crates of records all in the kitchen. There was like, it was a madhouse. It was like, people everywhere just running them up. And I was like, what? What is this? I'm hearing tunes that I've got playing in my car. I'm seeing them spin around on this. I'm like, I think this is me, And basically I just like forced my way into that crew. Every Friday night we're out partying with those boys. Yeah. And just, forced my way on the decks as well. Absolute terrible.
Did you find it, did you find it like almost like a challenge to learn how to play on records and way?
Yeah, definitely,
play by ear, and it's like, it is playing by ear. Like,
yeah, you can ruin your life very quickly. Like it's not like the sort of digital these days, but, I mean, you just, I think I struggled hard for 6 months, but, you learn how to just be able to like transition from tune to tune and still be able to like put your favourite tunes on, and keep your mates having a good time at the pre's and the afters and that.
Did you ever buy your own decks as well, like own record players?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely still got them now. Still,
that's
on them like every other day. But
Have you ever like with them, because since you had them for like 20 years, have you ever had to like do maintenance on them or anything like that, or
Yeah, definitely.
like fix the band or something? Or
Old mate Grant Ettrick,
Yeah,
like he's seen him a few
EAB.
times.
Yeah.
Changed cables.
He's a
here
bit
and
of a
there,
legend in the Perth scene at this point. Like
Yeah,
everyone
if
I
you
know
haven't had
knows his
something fixed-
name. So
but If you haven't had something fixed by him, then like you know,
yeah, that's it, because he does all the clubs, he does everything. He's basically got a contract for the whole of Perth almost. I
it's like,
reckon.
fix my shit quick.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
so with the records then, like how many records did you end up collecting over the
Oh
years?
man, I'm still
And,
buying them to these days. I found out like this thing called Discogs, where you've got people around the world selling records second hand, but you know the quality of it. And so then I'm getting stuff from like Germany, UK, like everywhere. You can just sort of put exactly what you want in into like the app, and it's dangerous, man. Like it's real dangerous.
is it just one of those companies that prints like a high quality audio file onto vinyl?
No, it's the original pressings.
Okay, so it's just like an online vinyl store then.
Yeah, it's an online vinyl
collectibles
store
Yeah.
through the world, but it's just people like me and you that are selling the records. You know what I mean?
okay.
So
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah,
That's
so it's
cool.
I mean it's dangerous. Like you just got to like delete the app.
yeah,
but
that's it, yeah.
no, it's good, man. I'm still like it's good that we got all the legends coming out. Like Dillinger was just here not long ago.
Yeah.
All these artists, I'm still getting all these records signed and like it's wicked.
So then, like, how did you get into playing like gigs and stuff like? Were you playing gigs in the 90s at any of the clubs or?
I would be
bars?
90. So I think on the first gig would have been around like 2003.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a drum and bass gig.
2003, I was in year 3.
Yeah. It's
So yes, a long time ago.
I've been having a lot of fun since you've been born, man.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. So drum and bass and like hip hop as well. Like Optimus from Downside. I started doing hip hop shows with him. So I'd like do like a set before like the main act, and then I'd be like scratching
that in the
scratch
90s?
records.
Or
No, that's around around 2003 as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's when it all sort of really started,
Yeah. Okay.
and then it's been non-stop ever since. Yeah.
So then, like, how was it like scratching and like in the background whilst like someone's emceeing and stuff? at
Yeah,
hip-hop
it was
shows?
cool, man. Like it's just that way to just throw that Perry salt on top, give it some flavor, and like watching legends, in live recordings and whatnot. I mean, I always just like mixing records is epic, but I always wanted to like learn how to scratch, and you had to spend the time doing it non-stop. And
Because then, like, how does it wear the records out faster from doing that as well at all? or-
yeah, a bit, but it's like it depends. You've got specific scratch records which you can just go to town on for like years and years and years, and then you've got like original pressings which you wear the groove a bit, but I mean, I never damaged anything on mine. So
Yeah, okay. That's awesome to know then, because I always thought it was like you could use it like 200 times or 50 times with the record, and then eventually it's like you play Elton John and it sounds all over the place. Like,
That is
Definitely,
true. That is true, mainly of older vinyls. But I think sort of in the late 80s or maybe mid 80s, they started making them out of a different material, which is a lot more
well, robust.
yeah,
robust than.
interesting.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, before I think there was a play limit, but I don't think it was as low as 100. It might have been like 250 or something like that. And then, it would lose quality a bit.
Yeah, you'd get some
know.
hissing, or you'd just wear it out a bit. But
You get some skipping here and there or
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
So with your first gig, how was it like going on stage, doing the scratching? Like, did you prepare and like practice and like get ready for it? And,
Yeah,
like,
I've
work
always-
with the MC or
always prepared. So like for the hip hop side of things, like Optimus, big up SBX crew, Perth, like legends.
are they
yeah.
still around as well?
Yeah, definitely. You still see the
SBS.
guys doing stuff like Draft, like rest in peace to Hunter, Pioneer, Legend,
Yeah.
Disaster. So yeah, I was just like hanging out with all those guys for their live shows. They'd have their like
do you know what they're called? You said SBS, right?
SBX, Syllabolics.
SBX.
Yeah, like Bit of Belief, whole bunch of crew. Rob
Syllabolics.
Shaker. Yeah. So basically just started
Is this it?
DJ. Yeah, they're the
Syllabolics?
guys. Yeah.
That's
Syllabolics. Man, the whole clandestine Funkola, man. I've got some stories, man. Done some crazy stuff over time, but
Let's take a look at their.
So just with that then, so like, yeah, what was it like going on stage the first time? Because
Oh, man, yeah, it
most
was-
people just like press play and then just play a song and then play another
yeah,
song.
man.
but
No, it's
scratching like.
I've been lucky, man. Like I've done some epic shit in my time, but like, yeah, having guys of the quality like Optimus, Disaster, Hunter, like, the crowd's just with every word just heaving, and like, you're right there with them. And then, all of a sudden you've got that, that 8-bar scratch section where, you've been practicing a million times to make sure you smash it. And like, it's just like a recipe, like every little part goes together to make it something unreal, like you look at sort of a live show from the Hilltop Hoods that, like it's precision, it's perfection, and like,
it
comes off.
Art.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it's like performance DJing versus the traditional DJing, which is a little bit more like focused on the technical abilities of mixing two tracks together, whereas performance DJing, you've got the MC to think about, you've also got these other technical elements like scratching, and you sort of live remixing on the go sort of thing. It's a very different style of mixing, right? And is that how, when you first started DJing, was that what you were expected to do, that sort of performance style DJing, more so than the just...
It was a bit of both. So like, you'd play between. You'd have live set. So it'd be like 3-4 artists. It'd be like a 10-minute break in between. So you'd go, get yourself a little routine of your favorite records, get some tricks in there, some juggling, some scratching. You got into the DMCs after a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so then it was basically the MC. You'd rehearse as well. You'd go and know when to do the dropouts. Accentuate this part here. So it's. It's a bit of teamwork to just put on a show and just, smash it.
Yeah, okay. No, that's awesome, though.
Yeah, no, it was cool, man.
So then, like, after that gig, then what happened after that? Like, where did you go from there?
So, yeah, basically, so I was DJing for probably a good, 4 or 5 different acts. And also my brother, Adam Crook, as well. We got started together. And, yeah, then it was, like, the point where, it was... do a hip hop show at the Rosemount. That'd be crazy, 500 people at the Rosemount.
Man. Back in the day, then.
Oh man, the golden era was wild, man. It was so good. And then straight after that, I'd go run off to Villa, to Heat, to a drum and bass event, and either play a set or just go party. You know what I mean? So I was always able to live the best out of both worlds there.
Yeah, because they've just renovated recently over the last 5 years. The Rosie, haven't they?
Yeah, it's
changed up a bit.
Yeah, man, we've just got a Roller.
Yeah, okay.
Playing there.
I thought Roller had stopped. I thought.
I'm not sure. Because I think COVID hit, and then we won't even get into that shit. But
that's okay, yeah.
I don't need any cancel culture stuff. But
yeah.
No implementing us. No getting the reach lost.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, they're definitely back, man. So I'm going back to back with Houston. He's one of my favorite DJs to go back to back with.
Yeah.
But again,
Perthy as well? Or?
Yeah, from Perth as well, man. So yeah, back at Rosemount real soon. But getting back to it. It was just a vibe, man. Rosemount, every weekend there'd be a big show. You'd have guys from all around the country, like Funkors from Adelaide or Hilltop Hoods, and all these different artists that were releasing albums, doing their country tour, and I'd be with one of these different artists and doing our thing as well. And then
that's so cool though.
Yeah, it was.
So have you actually hung out with Hilltop Hoods before?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, a bunch of times
awesome.
And that.
Yeah, definitely. Just hang out with Hilltop Hoods.
Oh man, no, they're good people, man. And again, sort of.
They're the legends in Australia.
Yeah, man. But again, if you go back to the original times, they're as I was mentioning, Hunter. They were hanging out and crashing on his couch and stuff in Perth, back in the day. So it's they all of those sort of guys really built the scene to where it was, and obviously Hilltops Hood took it to the max. But,
yeah, that's it. And then they travel internationally and the whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to that as well, Hunter, always got to give love to Hunter, man. Was able to get some verses on his albums, and Hunter and Mortar did some recording, scratching on their albums as well. But when he passed, the whole of Australia came together, the hip hop community. So we had these football games called the Hunter Cup, raising money for cancer awareness and everything.
Yeah, okay.
There was albums done as well.
See if you can find that.
Yeah.
What year was that?
That's man, I don't know, 2012, 13.
AG Hunter Cup.
Yeah, Robert Hunter highlights. Yeah.
Oh, it's hip hop. There we go.
So yeah, basically, all the artists from West Australia and South Australia, hip hop DJs, MCs.
Yeah.
West Australia and South Australia versus the whole East Coast.
Yeah.
All those artists Hilltop Hoods were commentating.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
man.
so cool.
It's
That's really nice that they all, you know, everyone
Yeah,
came
man. So
together.
that's onto there, man.
Damn, he had a wicked go.
I'm part of the Silverlights crew.
There's up there, yeah.
Representing Downside. We're here today to remember Rob, and obviously played a game of footy. He loved his footy. Even his coffin had the Freo Dockers painted on it, so he was always passionate. And we're here today by experience to back and put this on. We've been doing this every year, and it's a great way for all of us to be together, including Laura and Marley, Rob's son. They're all here today, and they were at the show last night, so it's been great. Really, really good.
Yeah, so I think this is like we're in like Hawthorne maybe, like yeah. So we did it. Went to Melbourne. They came over here as well. I think about 3 years we did it. But yeah, man, it's really goes to show like, you know, people loved him, man. You know, like, you know, you sort of like leave your legacy. You know, life goes so quick, but
Yeah.
you know, he'll go down in history as a legend, man.
That's so good though.
Just a good bloke, you know. Like it's
So
you know.
did he used to like tour around Australia and the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
world, or-
definitely. Like yeah, one of the original like pioneers. He was doing shows in, you know, Melbourne, Adelaide, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
That's so good though. And, like, actually, yeah, as you said, like left a legacy. For
Yeah,
this to
left a
happen.
legacy
Like,
and,
everyone
like,
loved him. Like,
also just like raised a lot of money and awareness and just brought the, you know, some people have the ability to just bring people together, you know, like it's
That's it, yeah.
without even trying, everyone just wanted to be there for him, like before and after, you know.
yeah, that's so cool though. And so like you managed. So how many albums did he release, and how many verses did you get to like spit?
Oh man, must have what is it? Must be like 4 or 5 albums. I mean, like 5, 6 albums. I mean, like the original, like the Hunter and Disaster album, Dundee L. Man, there's so much history in the hip hop scene, man.
Yeah.
Absolute classic stuff. But yeah,
Well, see, I've only just recently dived into it. I had
Man.
no idea how big the hip hop scene was in Perth. Like,
Yeah, man.
Even like in Australia, like I thought it was all, you know, mostly American based, and then we was getting influence from over here. But
yeah.
but it's massive. Like, have you heard of the 6K crew at all?
No.
So there's just like they're literally like a crew in Perth, but then like, you know, they just do hip hop shows and all sorts of stuff. And there's this guy called Wesley Black as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's taking off big time.
There's Lucian from Flytrap Studios.
Yeah, Lucian as well.
Okay. Yeah,
They do stuff for
Lucia, I know.
convenience.
Yeah, we've hung out a fair bit. Fly
Yeah.
Trap. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
He's
good dude.
cool.
He's very
Definitely,
passionate
man.
about the hip hop scene as well.
Yeah. It's good dude.
And so, like, with all this, so, like, going back to it, so you were doing, like, hip-hop shows and stuff like that. But then, like, were you making your own beats at all or anything?
At that point, I wasn't making my own beats, but then I started MCing as well. So
Yeah, okay.
ended up releasing a couple albums. Did this one album with a guy from Clandestine, Tomahawk.
Yeah, okay.
He sort of got myself and Bit of Belief, and Rob Shaker made all the beats. So sort of like just formed this collective, the Dragon Project.
Dragon Project, that's
Yeah,
sick. That's
it's
awesome.
yeah, it's on Spotify and that, and you know, released a bunch of CDs.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, that was just the coming together of just like some hungry MCs that just, you know, love what we do, you know.
Mm.
And then yeah, I released another like a mixtape after that, but it was like a prequel to an album.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, I used other people's beats, and then I just like MC'd all over it. Got people from like around the country, a lot of these sort of like legends, to give us a little shout out. You know, albums coming soon, and then drum and bass took over, and I never fucking released it. I never got to it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's still probably half finished, and I was like, yeah, no, I'll get back to it, and
Yeah. But
life
drum
just
and
takes
bass.
over. Like,
Yeah.
man, drum and bass has been there from the start, and like,
'Cause
yeah,
back
it
in
got
the
to a point.
Oh, sorry, you go.
Yeah, it just got to a point where it's like, you know, like life was just so hectic. Like I've always had full-time work, and then it almost got to a point where I had to like choose which way I wanted to go, and like, you know, always loved the hip hop scene, and you know, take it with us wherever I go. But the drum and bass, I mean, there's just nothing like smashing out, you know, a bunch of mixes to like, you know, 1,000 people just raring to go in every little moment, every
That's
second,
it.
you know, like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
energy with drum and bass. Whereas
exactly.
So much
I think hip hop
energy.
covers the spectrum a bit more.
Yeah.
Although some might make the case for like liquid drum and bass or something like that. But
yeah.
I think mostly when you think drum and bass, you think high octane, high energy,
yeah.
very fast, obviously
Yeah,
high
there's-
BPMs. And then like hip hop, you're sort of sitting in the 75 to 90 BPM range
Yeah.
usually.
I mean, you still get up to like, I mean, like if you ever have a listen to the Funk Wars from Adelaide, like absolute legends, but they're definitely getting up to 100, 120 beats per minute, and so it is all there. Like you're saying, like the spectrum, like there's everything in drum and bass. You've got basically every genre. You got jazz, you got hip hop, funk, soul. Into heavy metal drum and bass. Drum and bass encapsulates everything. I think hip hop, at the end of the day, like it was all about 2 turntables and a microphone, and same with drum and bass. Like it was always like that as well. I think the rush though, you can't beat the rush of drum and bass, man. There's nothing that compares. I love my house music. I love all music to a degree, but drum and bass is just like the ultimate. There's no
But then back in the 90s, wasn't it like originally jungle and then it morphed into drum and bass, or
So
I've heard through the grapevine almost. Like, I don't know if it's true or not, but from your perspective,
I guess everything came from like sort of break beats, like the old like breakdancing break beats and things like that, and then chopping them up into all different types of vibes and BPMs and things like that. So definitely a lot of, to my knowledge as well, there's always people talking about acid house, and that's before my time. Like 90s was a bit before my time with the drum and bass side of things. Obviously I've gone back and bought records from the 90s now, but that sort of jungle sort of lots of drums, lots of RM breaks, rolls, and that atmospheric type vibe. That just sort of took over, and then evolution just I guess instead of it being that real choppy type stuff,
just
got
like
it into that,
pushed it into this whole
boom, boom, boom
world. Like, because that, like, just like you said, there are so many different subgenres within drum and bass. It's crazy. Like, it's just, there's so much involved with it. And,
nowadays there's subgenres for everything, right? It's a huge spectrum nowadays, and I tend to just default back to the like, that's drum and bass, or that's house, or that's trap, or that's dubstep or whatever, rather than that's neuro dark neo funk drum and bass. Like you can define something like that, but at the end of the day, it like fits into, if it fits into a small box, that small box fits into a larger box. You know what I mean?
I think I like to sort of play a bit of everything. I've got love for the best parts of every sort of subgenre, but again, if you know who's the headlining artist is, then you sort of like will always, it's not about you. Like,
well, who else would do it if not for you, right? You're one of the bigger local names in Perth for the drum and bass scene.
I don't go
definitely
out yelling it, but like,
well, you got to be humble at some point. But it's nice to hear it once in a while, right?
Like, it's,
your name is out and about all the time, and you're usually put on some very big lineups in Perth, and for a local act, that's very important in Perth, because really there's only a handful of DJs really that have that kind of renown here in Perth, because there are a lot of DJs nowadays.
Everyone's a DJ now, and like I love it. I think again, like there's always levels to it. So having been through everything that I have, and the different sort of genres, I've been able to sort of take all that with us, where like some people are like in their second year of DJing, so you learn a lot over the time, and you just sort of, I don't know, I've come from like playing a lot of basketball, sort of like semi-professionally as well. So it's always just, if I'm on stage, it's like game time. I put a lot of prep into it to like make sure that if someone doesn't know who I am, they're going to fucking know by the end of it. You know what I mean? So
like, who was that?
And like, I've been recording a lot of my sets. I think going back to Hunter, like, life is very quick. And like, I've always, through my family life, just been quite sentimental. So, I didn't want to get to that end of my life part and not be able to just be on my rocking chair, blazing one, and just not looking back at these videos and going, I lived my life and had some fun. And
well, talking about like, looking back on videos and stuff, because you've got like your YouTube channel and like your Facebook and your Instagram and stuff, but you said you've been like recording every live set?
Probably not everyone, like most of them, like definitely the bigger ones. Like big shout out to Jeff at Inhibit, man. You can see there Inhibit, like, we go back a long way, and I remember when he's sort of getting started with Inhibit, and now he's just turned it into the absolute behemoth. And
it's massive.
He's just doing stuff through Australia and New Zealand, like some of the best experiences I've had have been playing these drum and bass shows at Inhibit. So like,
well, with the drum and bass and stuff. So how did you progress? Like, because so from 2003 to now playing massive shows all the time. Like, how did you like? What was the journey behind it in a way? Because did you play different bits and pieces? What events and like, you know, what are some of
Yeah,
the stories?
yeah,
What was your
definitely,
breakthrough moment? I think is
Yeah.
I think
when did you make it?
yeah,
When did you finish a set and go, that's it, like that's the
Yeah.
pinnacle, or I'm finally a DJ?
I mean, there's been many moments like that, you know, like I've been able to like play with just about all my idols growing up, you know, and been on stage, you know, with Wu-Tang to like, you know,
You've been on stage with Wu-Tang.
oh, shared stages, so like
No
played
shit.
before him and, you know,
Yeah.
after him with artists. and
Still,
things.
that is so
Yeah,
cool.
like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's, there's been so many of those like moments, but again, like it's never about making it because like there's always something else to do. I think it's like, it's all about the journey, you know,
Yeah.
like as much as I've done stuff in my time, like, yeah, there's so much that hasn't been done yet, you know, so it's, there's always more to do, but definitely, I mean, going back to that Metro City show, that was probably like one of the craziest moments. It's like, yeah, this is like a highlighted 20 minutes. Remedy Promotions is another thing I'm involved in with Elise PhDMB, but yeah, this was a crazy moment, man. So like, rest in peace to my uncle Raoul. Like, he actually like sort of passed away that day and was there with all our family, like in the hospice room, and then yeah, ended up playing this show that night, and it just really gave us that sort of idea that life's short and you just got to make the most of it, you know. So
Sorry, I don't know why it's freezing like that.
Perth internet.
We'll drop it down to 720p.
There we go. Yeah, shout out my brother Specs MC as well. EMC's on a bunch of my sets as well. But you know, this felt like I was basically at a Coliseum. You got like what, 8 levels of people up there. Yeah,
Metro City is a big place.
Yeah, it looks like good fun, hey? Especially when you've got like that verticality of the crowd there at Metros.
yeah, man. There's just, you can't describe it. There's just no feeling that you get from like so many people just enjoying what you're enjoying yourself. You know, like you sort of.
You're on the
Yeah.
same vibe level, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all firing on all cylinders at the same time.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
it's
just-
hard to explain to someone who is not a performer, has never been
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah.
And just sharing these moments with like people that just love things the same way or similar to the way you do. But yeah, I think definitely pinch myself in some of these moments, and like you just take that energy with you. Like I think that's the big thing. Like over everything I've done, like people just give you their energy. Like you're giving, you know, you're feeding these crowd, but they're like their energy is coming straight back at you, and you know you take that on with you, and you do that every week. You know, you're not playing these shows every week, but like,
Yeah.
you know, playing some sort of show, beach party, pool party,
That's it, yeah.
all these things, like you just,
But that's
yeah, just-
that's the biggest thing about it is you have to provide that energy. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what we were talking about just before. It's like, you know, no matter what, if someone breaks into your car or something happens or something brings you down, or like even as you said, like your uncle passed away, you know, rest in peace. Like,
yeah,
it's
thanks,
something-
man, yeah.
But then it's like you go up there and you just rock out basically.
Yeah, man. It makes you just realize like anything can happen anytime.
Yeah.
And like if you're not living to the max, then what are you doing? Like,
That's it.
you know, like a lot of people, you know, they'll play it safe, and you know, it's that risk reward type thing. You know, like I sort of dedicated myself as well as keeping it sensible and always having a full-time job. You know, like 20 years plus. You know, like I feel like I'm still as hungry as ever was, man. You know, like I'm not stopping this. You know.
Yeah. That's the way to do it though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like you can be in the right place at the right time, or you know, just be able to like. Some people dream of getting gigs like that, you know, and doing things like that. But it's just like they just don't know the right ways to get involved, or like, you know, like just to be a part of it in a way.
Yeah. I guess
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say, because it's like you've been around for so long, but then it's like, you know, as you said, you knew Jeff right in the beginning. And then it's just like you just joined in, like, you know, he's got his journey and you've got your journey, but then you see him and he's just like, oh, well, I need a DJ or something. You're like, oh, I can DJ, right?
yeah, you just gotta like, if you want gigs, you just need to fucking pester people. No,
Yeah, is that right?
no.
There you
I
go.
mean, but getting onto that, so
Yeah.
you know, over my time, and then like I was DJing, MCing, and then DJing again, and yeah, then started putting on shows. So like two different people. Kieran, I know you've had Kieran on, Kieran Dib,
Yeah.
the Dibbler Dabbler. You know, we ran some open bass shows, and Yeah, and Remedy as well. So Elise, PhD and B. I'll get to Remedy in a sec, but
Yeah.
basically, I got to the point where, you know, I was playing every week and, you know, like it wasn't, just felt like I was able to give back, you know, like Kieran was doing these open deck type situations.
Yeah, because I saw that. It was on like a Wednesday night sewing room or something,
yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it sort of came at a time where I think it was around COVID time and that, so I had a lot of time free, you know, I was sort of just relying on, you know, music and different things for income.
Yeah.
And
Did it work out well? Because it was just like anybody new could just come in and have a go. And
to a degree. So basically, people would send in started off. People would send in mixes. Excuse me. Cheers. People would send in mixes. I'd sort of just, you know, get a gauge for where the skill level was at. But the whole goal was to get people that, you know, had the skill or had enough skill to like break in, get that first chance, get that like that itch under them by playing to a crowd. And yeah, I think like at the start, I mean, it was pretty hectic. I think we must have done like 10 months of like every Wednesday.
really, so
I
you
mean,
were
like,
there every Wednesday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we had nights that were great, and then we had nights where we were eating a kebab, going, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, and it's interesting that yeah, it was just good to be able to give back. You know, like a lot of people sort of got their first set there, then all of a sudden they're playing at like a, you know, a bigger night, and then all of a sudden they're playing somewhere else, and
That's it. As you said, they get the itch. They like go give it a go. It's like, I've never played in front of people, but they might be playing in front of like 20 people, 40 people, something like that.
Yeah.
Then they're like, fuck that. Like, I want to go and play at, you know, Bass Watch or something.
exactly
like
right, yeah. And I mean, there's people that, you know, coming from sort of a competitive nature and that, you know, we sort of did DJ comps, and it's like, okay, cool, the winner of this comp gets to go play at this. And so, yeah, Bass Watch was one of those. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, funny enough.
Yeah,
So,
I actually didn't even
shout out
know
to
that.
Andy and Sam, Extended Play, love those guys.
Yeah. Big shouts to them.
Yeah, man, I love the drum and bass crew. Just like we've got so many different people that, you know, we've all spent so much time hanging out, partying, and like building together. You know, like did like X-Mouth tours with Andy and Sam. I'll try and keep. Let's not get distracted. All right, one thing at a time.
That's all right, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the open bass, man, it was really good. Like it felt good to just let people have that chance, and, you know, like sort of instead of people wondering, oh, how do I do this, or, you know, like so many people got talent and they just don't ever.
That's it. They
either
don't
have
know.
the balls to like
Yeah.
message promoters or know who they are or just know the way to do it. But
Yeah.
if you're out there, go to the club, have evidence of what you do, whether it's like video, audio, record your mixes. You know, we're in the social media like, you know, era, so you need to have like your press pack photos, audio, video, bio, and just put it in front of people and go,
That's it.
I'm next. Like, you know.
Well, fun little fact.
Sign of the times that a DJ, to be a DJ, it's not just good enough to be just a DJ nowadays.
Oh man.
You've got to be everything.
Fun little fact, right? So Skrillex, right? The way Skrillex actually got big, right, is because he had his from first to last band drum, but he couldn't do it anymore because of his vocal cords, right? Couldn't scream or anything like that, right? So he made Scary Monsters Nice Sprites, right? And he actually went to a Las Vegas show where Dead Mouse is playing, tracked Dead Mouse down, went backstage pretending to be just said, I'm here for like videography or like media or something like that, and then bumped into him when he finished his set, gave him the thumb drive. The day after, or 2 days after, or whatever, Dead Mouse was just like, who is this guy? Get him here now.
Yeah.
And then there he went. And he became Skrillex. Like,
It's so amazing when you say it, because like anything can happen if you make it happen. So like talking about Skrillex, one of my past girlfriends, like her best friend, this little girl Bree, curly hair photographer, real awesome chick. She's just, you know, just little girl from Perth. I don't say that, you know, I say it in a good way, that she just was like, you know what, I'm going to Los Angeles, I'm going to go be a photographer, videographer type thing. She set off, and then like, basically just packed the bags, did it, took some photos of Steve-O one day, then like one of the guys from Lost, and all of a sudden she's on Coachella hanging out with like Sonny, isn't it?
Yeah, Sonny, yeah.
Before he was anywhere near Skrillex in the
okay.
punk bands, and just became friends in that. And then as he grew, you know, then he's Skrillex, and then, you know, she's just this full-time photographer / tour manager, you know, just touring the world with him, you know, coming to Perth, this, that as well. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
and it's
like
like
that, yeah.
Anything can happen. It's like, you know, if you've got like the drive and the ambition, and you've got enough smarts to try and put yourself where it matters, like what he just did, like, you know, anything can happen. You know, there's been a number of times where I've sort of somehow just been in a situation where like, oh wow.
What do you say to those DJs and artists that hit up other artists' DMs?
I mean,
or event promoters or whatever.
yeah, I guess never get have thick skin. You know, like you know, there's been times when you know, people just don't message you back. I mean, you know, you're not going to get anywhere if you do something once and you don't get the result you want and then just quit. So it's like, don't go and scene, keep messaging and things like that. But yeah, just I think DJs just have a press pack, have something that shows what you do and why you want to do it, and just get it to everyone. You know, you got to go show your face. You got to go talk to people. Networking is everything.
Well, that brings up another good question, which is what is a press package and what should DJs be putting in it?
Yeah, I mean, it can be what you want it to be, but you know, for me, you know, I've got, you know, some show photos that, you know, show some of those big inhibit things, so you know, it shows exactly what I could do. You know, because I've been recording all these sets, you know, I've got like 4 or 5, you know, 3, 4 cameras of like video angles of these sets with proper audio behind it, so I can go get these drops, and it's like, power, that's, you know, something that's got some impact. So you know, not everyone's going to be able to do that themselves or pay for that, so you know, have a mix. So you know, whether it's on SoundCloud, whether it's just you know, a recorded mix. So yeah, audio, photo, video, bio,
Audio, visual.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I was going to say, like, a good friend of mine actually said to me once, it's like DJs these days is not just playing music, it's actually running your own business, basically. And it's like, that's where it's like, you have to be a graphic designer, you have to be a photographer, you have to be a video editor, you have to do this, you have to do that.
got to have a bag of tricks.
That's it, a bag of tricks, but it's such good life skills almost as well in today's day and age with the digital age, because it is just like being able to cut up videos and actually like make your own promo material. It's like, I guess you could maybe potentially take that to a media company. It's like, oh, you did all that yourself. That's
I mean, it's interesting. So like, again, sort of like the evolution of it. So COVID like sort of did some good things for us and a whole bunch of terrible things. But
yeah, of course.
but there was one moment. So we did this live stream started happening. So let's go into the remedy type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to PhDnb. Like, we do each other's heads in, but we've done some cool stuff together. She puts up with us and I put up with her. But
yeah.
First off, we've got a show on Sunday, so 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. At convenience.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, a bit of a multi-genre type thing. Yeah, it's looking like Sunday's going to be sick. Obviously, you got the Smile High stuff happening, and they've been doing some wicked stuff. Like, brought out Dillinger. Like, so yeah, go to that on Sunday, then go to Smile High afterwards, and just let's make Perth, Sunday's drum and bass.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
but yeah, so there's a house called the Wave House down in Yellingup.
Wave House.
Yeah, I think the guys from Tame Impala own it now.
Okay.
And yeah, basically me, Excessive, one of my brothers, went down there to do this like live stream stuff with his different crews, and yeah, basically there's this whole like sort of like amphitheater under this sort of, it looks like a meteor rock. Like,
is that in Yellingup?
Yeah.
The house is up on top of the hill.
Exactly.
I've been there for a party once, actually.
Yeah,
This
man,
is way
it's crazy.
back in the day. Yeah, and they have like a weird like like gardener dude who lives out the back. I'm pretty sure this is way back when I went there, but a mate of mine was living there, and it's like they lived up on the hill and they just look after the property when they're not there. But then it's like you walk down these steps and it's just an amphitheater.
Exactly, man. So yeah, basically the next day after we did the live stream stuff, I was like, man, this is crazy. So, like I'd started to have like a GoPro and record like, audio and, one camera video of some sets and stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And everyone's hungover as fuck. And, I'm like, I've got to do like a liquid drum and bass set down here. And it's like, this is years ago now. I still haven't put it up. I've got so much footage of like, stuff to put up. But yeah, so right down, I set the decks up at the bottom of that hill, bottom of the meteor type rock, going out to like the whole amphitheater. And these other dudes with these cameras, like, and like I used to be at Harvey Norman, and I used to sell cameras. I used to hate it. Didn't know anything about them. It was like, Anyway, like I sort of had this epiphany.
I have a similar story of working at JB Hi-Fi.
Yeah, it was like, that's too technical. I don't know how to sell that shit. No, I'm not going to do it. Anyway, starting. I used to sell houses. I could do some real estate photography. I could like record my sets just from watching these guys running around with the cameras, and getting a few different angles of this set that I did.
That's it, yeah.
Then shout outs to Camille. Everyone should know Camille from Perth doing all the photography. Ended up buying one of his other cameras.
Yeah, okay.
And with a former partner, we ended up starting this rollout media. So it was a matter of like just recording my own sets, but then doing like some live video stuff for different crews and whatnot.
Rollout Media?
There's an Instagram page. I barely use it. I really should.
Is this it here?
Yeah. So I mean that's like a Metro City, sold out show that I've still haven't put up. Specs is killing me. He's like, man, we've got like all this like footage from like 3 years ago that's still not up, and it's like it's crazy. But yeah, barely sort of touched the stuff, to be honest. From the Instagram, I've done a little bit more, but there's a whole lot more that I just haven't put up.
Yeah,
it's hard juggling so many different things, man. But yeah. So again, like you're saying, like from nothing, I've sort of just gone and got that sort of videography and photography type stuff, and then been able to like do that sort of set up a bunch of cameras, run around with the Canon 5D on the gimbal, and then like edit the video, and you've got the history. We're doing like the base watch videos there.
You turn that down just a bit.
See, the crazy thing as well is, right, you don't have a degree or...
This is at the Indian Ocean Hotel.
Just YouTube, man. I just learned everything off YouTube. So I've got this full setup. I did this set back in what? I don't even know when. But I've uploaded it to YouTube, but it's still private. So I'm going to get to a point where, we go through and have a quick chat and say like, yeah, base watch was this, pool parties, got this set, like before your boat party, me and Houston back to back, we got this set. There's a bunch of like Metro City shows and things like that. So eventually we'll all get out there. But yeah, just sort of like made sense to like capture all these moments, man. It's like history,
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's all memories.
Yeah.
Like being in the rocking chair eventually. And just
hey, mate, I love your set. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. That's what happened just then. The guy coming up to the decks.
Yeah.
But that's exactly it. They're memories.
Yeah, exactly, man.
If you have kids back eventually, then like you can show your kids like, hey, look, that's me.
You never did that shit. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Come on.
That's it. Yeah, I used to party harder than you.
Yeah.
That's it. When the kids hit 30 or whatever, you're like, yeah, but look at me. Like, I'm 70 years old in the rocking chair.
Mate, if I get to 70, I'll still be playing sets out. Trust me, man. Like nothing makes me feel more alive than smashing those sets,
Like a lot of people, it's like, they eventually, like I had Yanji beats on the other day, and one of the guys that came on, he actually, it's just interesting because it's like, I don't know if I should go into it, but it's one of those things where like he was in a relationship and then stuff happened, all sorts of stuff. But like settling down, the idea of settling down and then actually like changing your passions and like modifying things, because it's like for this guy, it's like he actually went from being like a police officer, right, and then he actually discovered trance music. And he just fell in love with trance music, went head on into it. And now he's just like, he's got all these different friends. He helps throw events. He does this, he does that.
So instead of like shutting down the bush stuff, he's putting them on.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Yeah. But it's one of those things though, where it's like when music grabs you and grasps and takes hold and stuff like that. It's wild in a way, because it's like an adventure almost.
Yeah.
Because you've been going 20 years strong, but then you want to keep going to your 70.
Man, like it's. Yeah, it still feels like it's early days, you know what I mean? Like I think it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just energy, and like, it's vibration sound, like just feeds my soul, you know what I mean? So it's like, the music just, gives me life, you know what I mean? So yeah, to stop it in some sort of way, like I just can't even imagine it, like every day where, you wake up and you're in a bit of a funk, like chuck some drum and bass on, I'm in the car, still got my subwoofers cranking, and I'm just like, we're going, we're back, we're alive, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But that's exactly it. Music can just like, it creates an atmosphere. And so I used to say this like ages and ages ago to a few mates of mine that wanted to open a bar and stuff like that. It's like, when you walk past the venue, what do you see? Who's in there, what the atmosphere's like, what's the music like, and what's the staff like? Is the place falling apart, or is it like, well put together? Is everyone in there great and getting along and everyone's there for a good time, or are they like, shitheads or something like that? You're welcome there. And they're like, what's the music like? Can you get down to it? Can you jam? Is it quiet? Is it chill? Or is it loud? Or You know, what's going on? And then it's just like, just the staff. If everyone's polite and nice and stuff like that, it just makes for an amazing venue. It makes it a fun place to go to.
Yeah.
And that's like, say, like with the video of Bass Watch you just put up just then. Well, we just put up. But everyone's just there to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, it's sick tunes. It's got a pool. It's awesome.
The vibe, man. And
yeah,
I think
that's it.
that's the big thing. Like, music just brings people together. Like, you know, like in so many different respects. I mean, like, much like yourselves, like, you know, I can't go to like a commercial type venue for a normal normal night. You know, like it's all catered to my style. But like,
you know, I sold my soul.
But just to go to like, you know, just to go out clubbing to go pick up chicks and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine just sort of stepping into a venue like that where you've got, you know, underground culture and still sort of a bit sort of commercial culture now these days, you know, with the way things are moved. But the music and atmosphere sets the mood of the people that are involved to a degree. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And like, let's get back to sort of the remedy type thing.
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
So, that's cool. So you guys are like done the podcast, like 145 type, you know,
episodes.
Speak to a lot of people. You know, you're bringing people together and that.
Yeah.
A lot goes into it. Like, so when COVID hit, with the remedy stuff, PhD and myself, we were doing like live streams out of my studio. So you have like the one camera, OBS, a million things could go wrong. You know, you're live, you're happening, but bringing people together. We sort of got these DJ battles going on. So yeah. You know, you've got people from all around the country.
Just out of your studio here.
Yeah, big ups Drum Bass Massive. Thanks for locking into Aussie Dnb All Stars, presented by Remedy. Big ups PhDnb, big ups Defyre, big ups
There's you.
putting this on, bring us all together. Big ups the contestants.
You can keep talking over the top. I was just putting it up as an example of your studio.
That's Micmac, man, and sick DJ over Brisbane. So basically,
Brisbane.
Yeah, basically, it was I started doing live streams with like block to block radio, this UK type thing. I mean, like painted the back of my studio to do like, you know, mixes, record videos, but then, you know, I wanted to, with all my friends in the hip hop and drum and bass scene, do a podcast, but I just never had the time, you know, and
it takes a lot of time and effort.
So much time and effort. But again, you know, so then we started this sort of like DJ battle, like friendly battle things, bringing people together. So you got Perth versus Brisbane, Perth versus Adelaide, Perth versus Melbourne, Perth versus Sydney, and then other people as well. Like,
is this the coast to coast thing?
Yeah. And so basically,
so did everyone have different backdrops and stuff? Like, click on the one on the left.
Yeah.
Of the girl, like with the, like, is that flow?
So everyone's like basically got, you know, their own setup, or they had someone else's house where they had a setup. So this is like a recording of a video. Like, you know, record your 15-minute video. You know, we've gone and loaded all those up on my computer, and then just like jump in between, sort of host it back and forth, bounce, and go, yeah, cool. This is Ms. Lopez from Perth. This is you know, Micmac from Brisbane. And basically at a time when everyone's so segregated in COVID, I was able to just bring everyone together. You know, like BOE from Adelaide, like you know, like Jeff, I think signed them now. So they were doing some big things, you know, as well. But I hadn't heard of them, and then I'm like, what the fuck? These guys have got releases on Blackout, this, that, the other. So, yeah, it really sort of brought everyone together.
So how long did you do it for? How many episodes?
Oh, man. I don't know. You'd be able to tell from like all the videos, but
that's
there's a whole bunch. Yeah.
Like, you started this movement basically during COVID for Australians. That's amazing.
Yeah. And
so this is you and PhD and B.
Yeah. So it was
there's semantics. There's Sammy,
Sammy in that. So yeah, basically I'd sort of been doing my own thing, streaming, and then she had this idea of doing this, and basically we just sort of, you know, combined our powers, and, you know, we had my studio, which is sort of a good backdrop and that. It turned into, we put on some shows, and then you know, life gets hectic, but then now starting to put some shows on again. Yeah,
that's amazing though.
But yeah, no, it's good fun, man.
And so it's just around like 10 to like 20 minutes to 15.
Yeah, 15 minutes. You know, show us what you got. You know, get yourself on the map. You know, and
that's so cool though, because sometimes that's what needs to happen. It's like, you know, to have avenues where people can just join in, and then you create the community basically. Yeah,
exactly, man. Yeah, and like, you know, you sort of, everyone's in the live stream. You know what it's like. You know, the comments are going nuts. You know, if you're smashing it, you know, it's yeah. And so yeah, it was good. Like, people just sort of discovered each other, and it was just a whole bunch of fun at the same time.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing. It's like, like COVID messed everything up for everybody. honestly, especially DJs and entertainment.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
nightlife, and yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
No comments.
Yeah, no
No
comments. No comments at all.
Well, yeah, COVID was rough, but for some people it was a benefit. Like
Yeah.
for us at Soon, it was beneficial, COVID, because of all the, you know, lockdowns and limits to going out and mask wearing and having to, you know, stand while you're eating and, you know, all the rules that they outlined.
So crazy.
It made
yeah.
all the underground events much more, you know, appetizing for people
Yeah,
to want to
right.
go to.
Oh, we're gonna have 4 people at our house. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
exactly like that.
Yeah, I don't want to like. Yeah,
yeah, like
I
for-
definitely. I noticed like my little outbursts here and there. You know, looking back, you know, I can say it with a smile as well.
Yeah.
But you know, like looking back, you know, you watch like your Facebook reach go from da to like shadow ban. You know, like
yeah.
so. At the end of the day, I mean, everything sort of comes out, you know, bit by bit, and you know, we'll just next topic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
other than Remedy and then also like Open Decks, what else have you done then?
Oh man, so
Do you have much of a hand in Inhibit events?
no, so basically I just known Jeff for a long time. You know, watched him like build it, and I remember. So there's a guy called Viper, Bready Spaghetti. So this is going way back. So me and Jeff were both.
Ready Spaghetti.
It's just nickname. Everyone's got their nicknames, but
yeah.
he was involved with drum clubs. So before my time, I think I went to like 2 events at drum clubs. So that was before like the Heat with Traffic and like Johnny Rintel, all those boys.
Yeah.
Jay Ripper. That's sort of where I got my name from. Jay Ripper. Shout out Jay Ripper, MC. Just lost track. What were we talking about?
So like, so what else you were involved with? And so you said like,
It was Inhibit stuff.
Inhibit. Anyway, this
We're
guy.
talking
That's
about
right. No,
Inhibit.
we're back. So yeah. So I was putting on these other shows. Basically, this guy Brett gave us. He gave Jeff a Wednesday night at Bar Open. What's Bar Open now?
oh, what bar
Bar
one? up
one?
and-
No, Bar next to like Penthouse.
Oh,
You know, like William Street.
what Paramount?
No, like William Street, across the road from Universal Bar. So there used to be a club there called Bar Open. It was
Okay.
upstairs and downstairs.
Oh, Retrobite.
Yeah.
It's called the
Oh,
Retrobite now.
No, I don't think that was it. I
Oh,
think it
no,
was
you
like a
mean
little
Jo-
bit further, like 2 doors down from
Oh,
Retrobite.
yes. I remember that. That's not around anymore. I'm pretty sure
it
that's
must be
something else
around
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
not Joe's though, is it?
Well, I never went in there. I knew it was there, though.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So, but basically,
while
back
ago
around
now.
like I think 2011ish.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, I'm looking after this venue now. Like, you know, Jeff, you do this thing called, or you do what you want to do on a Wednesday night, and I think it called like Beat Mash or something like that. That just like blew up like crazy. I think I did something that was called Represent. Me and a guy, Trifle, and then like have like Disaster from Downside. So I was doing like hip hop into dubstep into drum and bass
Yeah,
nights.
like classic dubstep.
Yeah, old school. You know, that was sort of like popping, just that underground sort of vibe, not so much the screechy shit, but
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
just I mean, it was just a party, but yeah. So at that time, so I mean, yeah, basically, you know, obviously Inhibit just took off. I always was, you know, the promoting type of thing wasn't really for me. As much as I've sort of been able to do a little bit since, you know, like I just wanted to be behind the decks.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted that rush rather than, you know, anything else. But yeah, so, you know, I've been able to see him just take it and build it and do some massive stuff. But, you know, at the same time, you know, I'll jump in his inbox and be like, "Oi, I haven't played an Inhibit show for a long time, bro. What have we got going?"
Yeah,
Like,
hit me up.
yeah, exactly. And so, you know, he knows what I can do. And like, yeah, you know, it's when you sort of go back to like, what is an artist these days? Like, once it got out of like sort of records and turntablism, where you sort of really, there was ways to stand out by being a really good DJ. You know, now it became like production is everything. You know, like DJing became a whole lot easier the way with digital came. So, as you're saying, you know, a lot more people came in, and like, so how do you stand out? And everything became about sort of original production. So, you know, I haven't, you know, I made beats on the sly out the back. You know, like until. Yeah, I got some stuff, but like, you know, I sort of get the shows that I need to get at the moment. So I haven't actually gone out until like the beats are at a point where it's as good as what I can DJ. Then that's when I'll start. You know,
Do you
letting them
feel
out.
much pressure to produce original tracks?
I mean, not in Perth. You know, I can get any show I want in Perth based on, sort of the way I do things
But
a
I
bit
mean,
different.
from your perspective, you're probably looking at it from mine or Alex's perspective. We're a little bit. You're on the edge. You could step into national fame. From where you are now. So you've got to make that decision of, am I happy where I am in Perth, or do I want to take it national? And if I take it national, is there that pressure to make original tracks to get to that next level?
I think it is. It's the internet. So if you're not making your original tracks, then you're not getting that worldwide recognition. Now, someone who makes a track in their bedroom and it's sick and can do a TikTok or an Instagram little reel can blow the fuck up quick, and all of a sudden, if you look at Lude, he's obviously good at what he does, but he's playing some of the biggest festivals in the world and that from doing that track. So realistically, just being a DJ has its limits. You're not you're gonna be good wherever you're seen, but at the same time, you're not sort of, unless you're on Spotify and people are sharing your tracks that way, and you've got that sort of, I guess, branding. That's definitely the next level. So it's definitely something I'm playing around with, but I'm at the point where I'm not just going to go throw a track up here and go, oh, listen to this. I'm going to be like, hey, I've got this release on this label, and now we're full steam ahead. There's
because that's a lot. That's exactly what it is. It's like, you could make the best music, but unless you know how to market it and do a TikTok thing or like a Facebook reel or something like that to be able to actually get that traction and that following, then it'll just it'll go up. But
exactly.
Then it really won't go anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's wild like that, right? Because just like you said, with DJing, it used to be all about the skill and how well you can do it and mix and match and DMC and the whole lot. But now it's it has moved to production. But even for me, it's I just do pubs and bars. I like doing pubs and bars, right? Yeah. Even though, as I said, playing Gimme Gimme every fucking Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We've all been there. We're going to do it. And you instead of just playing 1 hour, you'll go get 5 hour, 6, 7 hour sets. And so you can actually pay some bills with it,
That's it. But then it is one of those things where it's to try and become bigger. In Perth, we are so isolated and we're so small. It's like with Pendulum, they didn't actually become big until they went to England. When they went to England, then they, started releasing albums, the whole lot, and they blew up. And then they came back as legends.
Changed
almost.
the game, yeah.
But that's what it comes down to, really. It's you need to be the next Flume, in a way, in my opinion. It's you need to reinvent the sound. You need to be able to make your own genre, and that stands out, and then do the marketing behind it to be able to get it out there.
Well, how do you apply that advice to somebody who just wants to DJ and not produce? Is it impossible for them?
It's not impossible, but there's a limit. So unless you do, without saying too much, I sort of push the boundaries. I can sort of do a triple drop and scratch over the top and do some four deck action and stuff. And realistically, I have a massive following worldwide where I can sort of play before and after the best in the world and get respect from them. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, there's that limit. Unless you're making your own music and you've got your own brand that is, I guess, on Spotify. That it's how can a promoter sell you? You know what I mean? As much as you can smash.
It's unfortunate, but it is.
It is. It's it doesn't matter. So this is the thing that annoys me a bit, but I mean, I love everything the same. You can have an artist that can make tunes. It's a fucking terrible DJ.
Yeah.
And we'll just do nothing. Press play. That's my song. Stop. That's my and it's they can go. Have a song that is catchy and everyone loves, and then you've got guys that have dedicated their life to DJing that will just blow the place apart, and they've got nowhere near the same sort of type thing. So
funny little thing quickly, right? Empire of the Sun, when they first released that album that blew them up, right? One of the guys didn't know how to DJ, so when they played at Death Disco at Capitol, right, they had 2 MacBook Pros set up, and so had iTunes open on that. So you press spacebar and you play one song. And then when the song finished, you press spacebar on the next one. Yeah, and that's all they did. They didn't DJ because one of them didn't know how to do it, and then the other guy wasn't there. So it's just that was.
You wonder how they ever got anywhere. Hey?
Yeah, that's
with
it.
That kind of
but then they're worldwide.
Exactly, and it's I mean, at the same time, it's a beautiful thing. It's I think to purists and to people that do things a certain way, at the end of the day, you just got to be you just got to love what you do and do it. But you also need to recognize if you want a certain result, then you got to play the game. So
that's it.
Definitely, for where we are now in the world, if you want to get known, you need to have your original songs, and then you need to be able to like mix better than everyone else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
a bit of
you
both,
know,
yeah.
I think
But like you said before, it's like it's also how marketable you can be as well.
yeah,
That's like such a big important thing for it these days, because you gotta, you know, it's like back in the day in the 90s and stuff like with boy bands. It's like they were marketable to all the girls, and the girls loved them, Justin Timberlake and this and that. Yeah, that's it, right?
yeah.
But at the same time, it's in today's day and age, it's similar. You got to market to the younger generation, in my opinion. Like Takashi's 6ix9ine is terrible, right? But then look how big he is, right?
I mean, we don't even like, you know, coming from the 90s hip hop, I can't even comment on all that mumble rap stuff. Like, it does my head in. But
It does.
yeah,
Same thing
again,
for me,
and
yeah.
like, and there's different machines involved as well. And I think,
Yeah. Because like,
It's
look,
always-
Paris Hilton's a DJ these days. And
Yeah.
she got paid like $80,000 to go and like spray someone with foam in Ibiza. Didn't even DJ. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm Paris Hilton. Like,
It's,
come watch
yeah,
her
it's,
play.
Yeah, but I think in that case, like Paris Hilton's in a weird category in that I think she understands that she's not some top DJ. It's more of like, because clubs even do this.
celebrity,
They
yeah.
they pay celebrities to come
Yeah.
to bring more people into the clubs. It's the same with Paris Hilton. Not only can she quote unquote DJ, but she can also bring a fuck ton of people to the club.
yeah, at the end of the
So-
day, everything's business. It's return on investment. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's exactly it.
you know how people's got this person's got this many followers. You know, I know that they're going to sell this many tickets, and boom, 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 business,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. So
But it's so unfortunate sometimes, because it's just like what we were talking about. You could be amazing on the DJ decks, but have 400 followers on Instagram. But then you have a guy who's got 200,000 followers on Instagram, can't mix for shit, but you know he's kind of all right. And then you know you get him on, and then he would just sell tickets. You know, it will just sell out almost. It
Yeah.
won't sell out, but it will sell.
yeah,
Because of the marketing behind it. And it's kind of like it's taken, in my opinion, it's like from what we do, we care about the music, but the next level above is when you care about the music, but you slowly stop caring about the music and you start caring about the money that comes in.
yeah. I think a big thing as well was like a team. You know, like so you know you've got 24 hours a day. You know, like when you've got someone who's like doing your posts for you, or you know when you've got a well-oiled machine, you know that you've got people who are in the know. You're cool. You've got like a photographer, videographer. You've got a marketing guy. You got this. You got that. You got a manager. that's going,
you've got
a
an
manager.
agent. Yeah.
You know, and shout outs to Jeff as well. Like he's done some crazy shit. Like you look at Floridas, and you know, like you know, I think besides their six skill level, having someone that will keep you on your ball when like, okay, this is your move, this is your next move, this is your next move,
Yeah.
this is your next move, and like you look at it and they're fucking killing it. They're playing, you know, around the world, playing New Zealand all the time. Like
Andy
back and
always
forward.
said is you got to hop, skip, and then jump. It's
Yeah.
like you got to like plan your moves and you got to do things, and then that's how you like really
have
progress.
structure and you know keep
Yeah.
things in flow.
Yeah.
You know, not like record all your sets for 3 years and never put them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still getting big gigs though, and you're playing on the massive
Yeah,
sets.
yeah. So it's true. So yeah, no, it's
You've
But
built
yeah.
your brand, so like, that's
Yeah,
the thing
yeah.
about it.
I think yeah, but for you know over a long time, you know, so like for someone who's just sort of stepping into it, it's like yeah.
So-
So unfortunately, get good at everything.
That's it.
Don't
But-
say stuff on the internet that's going to get your reach pulled and
Yeah, that's it.
you know
Shadow
don't have an opinion and
Yeah,
you
that's
know
it.
play the game,
Yeah.
do
Unfortunately, it is-
dances.
But that is the thing, right? You have to play the game.
Yeah.
You really have to play the game that these big corporate, you know, pigs basically just want you to do this. Like you have
Yeah.
to. But it's like unless you do it, then you don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I like to bring up the like here in Australia, it's the nightlife industry sort of run a bit differently. Like I went to the UK, I had no idea what I was doing. Right, I just went over there to study for 6 months.
Yeah.
But the university I was studying at actually had 2 nightclubs on campus, so I took the opportunity. I put some posters up. I hired one of the clubs out for the night. I think it cost me like £600 deposit, which was like I don't know $1,100-1,200 for the whole club, and I got all that deposit back. And I got all the ticket sales, and I also got 45% of all the drink sales. But no one gets that.
That's it, yeah.
No one gets that.
What are you doing here?
Apparently, that's a normal thing in the UK. If you
Yeah.
run an event, you get a share of the drink sales as well. So,
That's mad. Yeah.
so it's much easier to make a profit
Yeah.
from that perspective, especially when you're selling 6 vodka cruisers for £6. 6 for 6. Like, what the fuck? They could do that at clubs over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well, you talk about the isolation of Perth, it like creates incredible artists, you know. But again, you know, for someone that's over in the UK, you know, you could be in Spain, you could be fucking here, there, everywhere. You know, you can go do 4 shows. You know, you go do a weekend, you might play like 6 gigs, and you might do a lot of travel time, but you know, you might do 3 gigs in one night. You know, so it's like. It's a different sort of world.
Yeah, it's a concrete jungle over there, basically.
Yeah.
You get lost amongst, like, that's just the thing. It's like the population of England compared to the population of Perth. It's so different.
Yeah.
Like, so different.
Well, I mean,
right?
if you're in Amsterdam, for example, you drive for an hour and a half, you're in Berlin.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
You know, like that's Europe. So
Yeah.
you could effectively play an opening set at a club in Amsterdam and then play a closing set in Berlin. In one night, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish, right?
Yeah.
But then, what about? So, have you tried to run any other events other than like Open DnB, and like
No. I think that's about it from the promotional side. Like,
Yeah. Because in a way, it's a good thing because you're playing. As I said, you're behind the decks, but the logistics of running an event can sometimes be so daunting. It's like you got to do the club hire, you got to do this, you got to do that,
yeah, just
and then sell tickets at the top.
I mean, like again, you know, we talk about the beast of social media, but you know, like the amount of time that's like done. You know, you're doing stories, doing this, promoting. If you don't, you know, you don't put the effort in, you don't get the result. And yeah, I mean, it's fucking taxing, man. Like, yeah, and just the amount of time that goes into it. Like, I think as being sort of like a jack of a number of trades, you know what I mean? Like at the same time, you know, if you do dedicate yourself to one and do it well, then you know you do sometimes get different results. But
Yeah.
No, definitely had enough of the promote. I mean, like as long as there's someone else involved, that you know, like and it's a bit of teamwork, then yeah. But
now you just play the music and you're like,
yeah,
you guys take that away.
I just want to be on stage, fucking playing my favorite tunes.
I find out myself. It's like you're expected to do X, Y, and Z, but you only find X fun, not Y and Z. So you try your best to cut out or reduce Y and Z, but you can't really do that because you need the marketing side of it, and you need the promo pics and the videos and stuff. But that's the stuff that takes time, and you don't get paid for.
That's where it's so good though, because you've always had a full-time job, as you said, right? But then your passion and your hobby and everything is on the weekends. You still get paid for it. But it's like, you know, you just basically being able to grab your hobby and make it a profession at the same time.
Yeah.
But then you have your daytime job where that is where the stress and all, you know, just long days and whatever else comes into play. But then as soon as you get behind the decks, you just release that energy.
Big time, man. Yeah.
And have fun, right?
I think it's interesting. Like, you know, life is balanced. You know, like I've been through like music being my only income for a couple of years, and as good as that was, then you know the love sort of dissipates a bit. You know, it becomes a bit forced and whatnot. So
that's it.
You know, like as much as you know it can be soul destroying, it still does give you the diversification of income. You know, like I find that every day of the week I could be making money. So you know it's enough to keep the mortgage paid and still not feel like I'm too far one way or the other. But yeah, definitely it's interesting, having like a sort of, corporate IT communications type job role, and they go, "Oh, how's your weekend?" I'll go, "Fucking have a listen to this." Like, I did this.
Listen to my sick new drum and bass mix.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's wild
like,
with that though, right? Like, like for me, I just started that job I was telling you about in Kwinana, right? But it's like I showed them what I get up to on the weekend. They're like, "You do that? That doesn't even look like you." And it's like, "Well, I've been doing this for 10 years, though."
Yeah.
And I can imagine the same for you as well, right? It's like you go back to your day job and you're like, "Yeah, I was just playing in front of 1,000 people in Metro City."
Like, in a meeting with mining execs and like this type of shit. Yeah, so it's it's interesting. Like,
it's
I think
good diversification. Is that
diversify?
Diversify,
yeah. So it's sort of again, it's again you sort of look at making it. So, like some of my favorite artists in the world, like they're touring the world and they're doing this and that, and again, like they're sort of living their dream to a degree. But then, have you got assets? Have you got super? Have you got like, what happens when you get to 50, 60? How does the end of life look? So I've always sort of, had that sort of sensibility to try and think for the future, but live in the moment as well.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I just want to interject, guys, and just let you know we've got 10 minutes left.
I've got 10 minutes left. I was got one question being like burning to ask. So like with the progression of like, you know, CDJs and stuff, have you learned on like the 100s, the 300s, the 400s, the 500s, then the thousands, and then 2000 Mark 1s or whatever they are, and then the next?
Yeah. So basically, like my transition was like records to vinyl Serato.
Yep.
So it was like laptop with you know, records.
Yep.
I hated CDJs.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Sweet,
And then,
you're a monster.
and yeah, so I sort of bypassed the whole actual CDs, playing CDs. Ended up getting like an 850, I think, with the USB, just because like started to transition, as well as like clubs, they never serviced their turntables. So I was like playing some like big shows, and like the Serato vinyl would skits out and shit, and I'd be the one going, "Oh, could you put the turntables out?" Or like having to like swap equipment over. Remember the clincher was shit would always go wrong with Serato. It was performing with an MC, this guy DT, guy from Seattle, like good dude, and
That's
wicked
cool.
MC.
Yeah.
We're playing like sold out show, Bone Thugs and Harmony at Metro's Frio. So you go to sound check, we set everything up, everything's good to go out, grab a feed, come back, jump on, about to play, open the laptop, Serato wouldn't work. I'm like, man, spit an acapella, go. You know, like doing this, everything like, you know, like pretty technically advanced, not working, turning shit on and off, start again, reset. I'm like, you know, you've got a sold out Metro Frio crowd.
Yeah.
Bone Thugs and Harmony playing right after us.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck this shit. And I'm going to CDJs. So then I just sort of stopped with it, and then got myself some CDJs, like 2000 Nexus 2. So I got like 3 of those.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I
quite a bit of money.
bypassed. It's get a corporate job.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
No, it's basically I worked at like Harvey Norman's and places like that. And so like you're working all day and you're seeing all this different equipment and stuff. So you always, you know, you'd always end up buying shit that was there. You know?
Yeah.
So but yeah, so that was my sort of transition. So now, you know, like I haven't used like Serato vinyl. Like I played straight after JFB. He's like the world DMC champion like 3 times over.
Yeah, okay.
And I did like a vinyl set, and that was because I haven't used the Serato vinyl in ages and shit. So yeah,
Just jumped into it. On your bio as well, like the one that you sent through, you said that you took someone under your wing. Did you?
in that in that
training
sort of COVID type period, yeah. So I started doing like DJ lessons. Yeah, might start get back into it again. There's a couple people that have reached out. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah, basically DJ Jakey boy is like this 10-year-old kid, friend of a friend. He wanted to learn how to DJ, and just a real quiet little dude. You know, his mum used to come around with him and that, and we just sit in my studio. You know, basically, you know, he was picking up what I was putting down, and got to the point where like, yeah, Kieran was running these family day rave events, and yeah, so he was ready to go play a set. So you know, 10 years old, year
That's
5
awesome.
type thing.
That's so cool.
You know, I was there. You know, we play like one tune each, 1 for 1. And yeah, he was able to like get up there, do it. There's some videos in that somewhere. But yeah, ended up like he'd go home and he'd like, you know, he'd have his tunes and he'd go figure out these different mixes, and you know, I was teaching him like double dropping, and you know, there was no sync in that. You know, not that we're going to get into all those discussions, but I taught him properly in that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got to the point where he had 2 pendulum tunes. He loved them. His family loved them, and that. And yeah, family day rave. There must have been 300-400 people there. We're playing back to back. El Hornet from Pendulum. We knew he was going to be there. Like, oh yeah, he's going to do this drop. Come jump on stage and give him a pat on the back if he does well in that. And he come and did the mix. He smashed a double drop.
No way.
And yeah, chopping it out, chopping between the tracks, doing some EQ switches, bass switches, and that. And yeah, and then you know you got El Hornet there just going fucking on your mate, you know. And so
Yeah, little prodigy.
yeah, man, his mate was back at school. You know, they're at school on the Monday and going, wouldn't believe, you know, Jakey just went and played this in his club and that, and kids like, oh bullshit, nah, man.
Yeah,
It's like,
so shocked.
check the video. It's like, what the fuck, you know, like it's But yeah, I mean, like anything can happen, man. Like you know, he's like a little whiz kid, like you know, like he's just.
Yeah, he could be that part of the next pendulum that comes out of Perth.
You never know, man. You never know
Start
what's
him young.
next. Yeah. So but yeah, you know, like follow my socials, like Instagram, like Facebook. I mean, the Facebook artist page, I barely even touch that thing. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? All
It
that's
is
like,
just
but
like that,
yeah.
It's just there because it's there.
It's there because it's there. I think
Yeah.
I can, like, if I share a story on Instagram, it'll go to that. So there's something happening there.
Is
but-
Instagram your like go-to social media platform?
Yeah, it is now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've got like my personal like Facebook page, which, you know, that would actually get some reach. You know what I mean? But I think I've maxed that out. So yeah,
Just quickly, because you mentioned the thing about the sync, right?
yeah.
Let's have this discussion.
All right, let's do it.
Let's I'm just curious though, because so like for me, right? So I use Tractor, right?
Yep.
And using Tractor, I play anything from 70 BPM all the way up to 175, 180, right?
Yeah.
You know, going all the way 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, playing all different genres, right?
Typical open format DJ.
Open format DJing, right? I've got
Yep.
36,000 songs on my laptop.
Yeah.
And I've got one playlist that's about 17,000 songs, which is just my pop and bar music. right?
Yeah.
So I use sync and quantize all the time
Yeah.
because
I'm not mad at you for that.
okay, yeah,
Not at all.
yeah. But then, so would you say that using sync in that perspective, right? Because you're playing open format to a crowd, multiple people, that's where it would be acceptable, right? But would you say, like, say, using drum and bass, and it's like plus or minus 10, really, it doesn't really jump much. But then using sync, it's kind of like it's taking the fun out of it.
I
Like,
think
I'm just
so.
curious.
Yeah. So personally, coming from the history that I've come from, and realistically, how fucking easy it is to do. I mean, like, you know, like a 10-year-old can get up there and smash mixes out.
That's
so
it. Yeah.
So really, I only care about drum and bass. You know, house. I mean, like, it's still, I love my house, and I'm playing heaps of house gigs now, and all that. And again, like, anyone can do what they want to do, and so my opinion, you know, maybe
Yeah, that's
more
it, yeah.
or less valid than anyone else's opinion. Who cares? But at the end of the day, like, for me, if you're going to get booked to be on stage, be good at what you do. Like, and a drum and bass, like, if you're going to go play a sold out Metro City show, I want to see someone do something.
Yeah.
You know, like, so yeah. If you're playing multi-genre pub stuff, and like, you know, do whatever you want to do. And
Yeah.
and even if you're going to go play drum and bass, do what you want to do. You know, like, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, I just don't know how to turn it off. Like, there's been times where I've like gone and played after someone, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it syncs
someone
up.
like turn the shit off, turn it back on. I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, you know, you ruined my intro, motherfucker. Like, learn how to mix. But like, but
Because
again,
I 100% agree with you as well, because it's like when you're playing one genre, right? But obviously there's so many sub-genres within drum and bass, right? When you're playing like drum and bass or just house or just techno, if you are using sync, then what are you doing in a way? It's like plus
it's
three,
just, you're like
plus 2
autopilot.
BPM.
Like,
That's
just,
it.
just chuck a Spotify playlist on, and
That's
you know
it.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and it's like the DJ doesn't have to do as much. It's like it takes the, you know, they might be able to play with effects or do this or do that. But if you're just literally moving the BPM little ticker up a little bit or down a little tiny bit,
and then just chuck your earphone
and
in,
then
just fix it up, have a listen to it. Like, it's not hard. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's. So I think that's where I get a bit frustrated. Like,
I agree. Yeah,
I love but it gives you so much time to do other things. It's like, fucking make your sandwich after your set. Like, fucking love those videos where like they're DJing and they're like chopping up carrots. You know,
yeah.
they're like, I think it's obviously meme videos and that. But I mean, like, if you can't do it by, I mean, like now that the BPMs are there, obviously it drifts out and things like that.
Yeah.
I'd make the argument you're not a DJ if you can't beat match.
Yeah.
Full stop. But with the argument of sync specifically, I'm on the other camp. I think you should be able to use it. I don't think you can call yourself a DJ unless you can beat match, right?
But see, that's where it's so interesting, right? Because I love having this conversation with someone who's like, who's experienced, right? Because it's like, it can open up options to do more, but you should be able to use it like an instrument. You should know the ins and outs, everything that you can do on the decks, right? Because if you are just relying on just one thing, just sync and quantize to mix, then you are basically just like a Spotify. Because then
Glorified Spotify playlist, like.
And like, if you're just mixing the last tail end of the song out, it's just like, well, you literally just put a fader on. That's it. But if you are like, you know, looping a specific 8-bar loop out of like an old classic Fleetwood Mac song, and then you're using that and then bring something else in over the top and, you know, jumbling around and actually playing with it, you're using it like an instrument.
That's very true.
But
Well,
like,
yeah, you shouldn't just hit sync and rely on it, like leave it on for your whole set.
Yeah.
There's no way you should be doing
I
that.
think it's the the purpose behind it? Are you like taking this like risk or reward? Like if you're just playing it safe and you're up there because you want to like get the glory and that type of thing, then I'm just like, do what you want to do, but like
my argument's more for things like double drops, or if you want to change the BPM of multiple tracks at the same time, or sometimes I by accident or in a panic or I don't have enough time, I'm 0.2 of a beat off or something, so I smash sync quickly just to lock it in, on and off sort of thing. But those are the times I reckon it's okay to use sync. It's a tool to be used, right?
Like I said, it's a tool. It's an instrument. People say like, oh, DJing is a musical instrument, but the thing is, it's a musical instrument to play other people's music.
Yeah, exactly.
It is an instrument. And people don't see it that way at all, unfortunately. But then 100%. So like, as the way
I think
you said.
like there's a house DJ guy called James Hype.
Yeah.
And so like in the house world, like I'll look up. So for someone that is doing like crazy looping and things like that, but I mean he's not using syncs. He's just got good enough to be able to like do this crazy stuff. So I mean, and he's like pinnacle, like as good as it gets in that sort of realm. So I think everyone just do whatever you want to do, have fun, enjoy yourself. But then it's
because like
for us DJs, it's really obvious if you suck though. It's basically what we're getting at here.
Exactly.
But see, like even as I said, like for me, right, I won't use sync all the time, but I might just double tap it so the BPMs are the same.
Yeah, I think that's a different thing as well between like laptop and like tractor type vibes compared to CDJ type things. Like I think they're a bit different. I've seen people like ruin their lives where it's just gone into like they've been using sync and then all of a sudden it goes into this like they're playing drum and bass and it goes into this half time, like it's like
it goes from like 187 to like 175.
Yeah, it's not been organised properly and it's just gone and it's just like you look like a, you know what I mean? So but I mean I mean drum and bass is the only time that I get passionate about that type of thing, because I think it's I think just from where it's come from to where it is now, it's like have a bit more.
That's it.
More. But at the same time,
it makes it more fun though as well. Yeah. Because that's why, like as I said, for me, I turn it off. I double sync. I double tap it so the BPMs are the same. But then I just keep tapping away at my cue points because then it'll put it out of sync. But I sit there and I bring it back, and then like I'll listen to it and go nah, like. Because then I'm actually interacting and having fun with it instead of going,
You're in the ride, not just a viewer of it type thing.
That's it. Instead of going, all right, done.
You're in the driver's seat, not the passenger seat.
Exactly. That's exactly it. But it is such a talked about topic, though.
Yeah, I think
I see it like once a month, once every 2
Oh man, the amount
months.
of times I've jumped on the internet and just gone, like, just seen something and just been like, boom, blows up and shit, and you're like, but once you start, you can't stop, and it's like.
It's so cringe.
Oh man, we always need something to bitch about, like otherwise life's boring. So
I guess that's true.
The industry can be a bit like that, hey, too.
Exactly.
Need to vent sometimes.
Yeah, I think like when you're a headlining act touring the world type thing, then you should be a professional and do it. So coming from like a sporting background, like you'd look up to people and that. So little local DJs and stuff, like, I mean, like, cool. But then,
that's where it's so funny though as well. It's like Fat Boy Slim, right? He went and did the Olympics, and when he did the Olympics, right, he had nothing plugged in. He was on one of those floating things, right? It was
pre-mix or something.
Yeah, it was all just a recording. From what I got told, it's like, do you want to stuff up at the Olympics? Because it's the Olympics. They probably told him this is what's going to happen.
Nobody's close enough to see him mixing anyway.
Yeah.
But you can see the DJM though, and it's like there's nothing plugged in.
No,
there's nothing plugged in.
They didn't do that, did
no
they?
power cable or anything.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
At least plug it in, like make it look like it's on.
Turn the lights on.
It's like this big float, and it's just moving through, like, whatever it is, like the crowds and stuff. But it's literally, he's just standing there, like, yeah, I'm Fat Boy Slim.
Oh man.
All right, we're only got a minute or two left, so do you want to wrap it up for us, Alex?
Cheers so much for coming on, though.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, it's been good.
Nice one, good chats.
Yeah.
On your mate.
Hey.
And then, like
Yeah.
I was saying before, like we're going to try and do more panel stuff. So if you want to come back on, we get a few drum and bass heads on, like maybe Josh Crofton or something like that, and then
Oh yeah, big
Yeah.
subs.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
We'll just hang out.
Even if you
talk
can
about
hook us up with the
DnB.
guys, some of the guys at Inhibit as well, it'd be good to get them on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, just
Even if it's just in passing, like, hey, the podcast exists. Check it
yeah,
out.
exactly, man. I think like it's just history. Like we've had a big chat about at least my sort of view on certain things
Yeah.
over my time. Like everyone's got their own story, so yeah, it's good. It's good to hear it all.
That's
but
exactly it.
yeah, no, good on you boys. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, cheers for that. All right, and we will see you guys.
Oh, before you go,
Oh, yeah.
tell us what you've got going on. Do you want to
Oh,
plug
yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Any
Plug
events
any
coming
events. And I'll try and
So
figure out
yeah,
what you got.
first of all, that Sunday at the Convenience, come down. I got like Neesnu, my bro Albert, is playing a few different people, so there might be a story somewhere.
Do you have the event? What's the event called?
Go to Instagram. But first of all, let's talk about Roller. So
Okay.
Roller's the big one. Like 20 plus years they've been doing these shows once a year. So it's Thursday, April the 6th. So yeah, me and my bro Houston, back to back set. We play one song, one for one, and just keep it going. So that'll be fucking massive. But then again, yeah, if you go to the Remedy Instagram page,
I actually can't remember who we got on next week. I did the bookings like yesterday.
Well, this is not
and,
it. Remedy Australia or AU.
oh
think
man, I
it is.
don't know. No, it'd probably be a million things there.
Remedy. Is it drum and bass specific? Or?
Yeah, go to just go to Convenience. There'll be go to the not about not on the internet. Just go on Sunday. Go to the Convenience in Northbridge at 2 p.m. and there's a big show. Is it something here?
Oops, I went music. I wanted events. Basics.
Base Exchange. That's the one.
There we go. We got there in the end.
We got there. So yeah, got a bunch of crew up. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. And
What time does it start? And how much
2 p.m. Goes 2 till 7.
All right.
And
that's
then
not bad.
yeah, then there's obviously other drum and bass, the Smart High after that. So Sunday is looking fat. I don't know how much it is. She does all that stuff.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
PhD some if you're there, put something in writing. But yeah, I mean it's it's nothing expensive. So you go to it's cost of a drink surely.
Yeah.
No,
But yeah, no, that'll be cool. And yeah, besides that, yeah, follow my YouTube channel. There's a bunch of live sets on there, and yeah,
'cause
there's going to be a
that's
whole
just
bunch more to go.
that's just at Defyre for your YouTube channel.
Yeah. I don't really use SoundCloud that much anymore because I just got all the video stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
follow
all
the
really-
Instagram. There's
It's impressive though, all the video stuff.
yeah, there's yeah, a whole bunch of fun, man. Yeah, there's JFB, Bass Watchers, Dylan J the Legend.
Just
All the
giving them a
boys.
quick slideshow
Yeah.
to see you off of your greatest hits. That's in the green room at Sewing Room.
Yes, that's the studio at home. So there's like, yeah, the
That's
main thing I want to
sick
do,
shit,
man, like, I've got all these like years of like live show videos, but the main shit is like the record collection, man. That's my favorite shit. So got like a mix series called Got It on Vinyl, and so yeah, just eventually there'll just be like this, a million vinyl mixes up there.
But like
But
I said,
yeah,
eventually
stay
you
in
can-
touch,
Yeah.
hit us up, and let's go party. Let's have some fun.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on the
Big up,
podcast.
boys. No worries.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to that, and we'll see you guys next week.
Nice one.
I'll figure out the guest soon.